Oh, yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Tech Preacher Uncut, baby. That's what I'm talking about. The podcast is live. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, but check this out, right? This is Samsung Week. And as we get into Samsung Week, they announced the S24 Ultra, the S24 series of devices, and I got a lot of thoughts about it. You know what I'm saying? And I did a live stream, and we talked about it, we discussed it, we talked about it on Wired Wednesday. But you know what? In this Uncut, I want to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, baby. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. You know why? Because it is good, the bad, and some of the ugly. All right. Oh, are you ready for Uncut, baby? Are you ready for Uncut? If you hyped up and you ready for Uncut, that's what I'm talking about. Give me thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. Make sure you subscribe to me, period, baby. Oh! Oh! All right. All right, baby. So welcome to another episode of Uncut, baby. Listen, I do this every week. It's so funny, right? I have a lot of fun. We just had the keynote address for Samsung in the Samsung Week, right? And one of the things that we look for in new devices is new features of hardware. And as I was doing a live reaction on my YouTube channel, it's on my YouTube channel, my live reaction, when we was watching the keynote address, some things hit me, right? Some things hit me, and it's not for good, right? What happened to Samsung? What happened to Samsung? Samsung hasn't moved the needle. Like Samsung, and a lot of people say, well, Easy, what do you want Samsung to do? You know what I want Samsung to do for $1,200, $1,400, or $2,000 after tax? When you talk about devices like that, you want them to do something more. You think about it, you got devices out there like Xiaomi and these other companies out there that's moving the needle, one incentives. They're doing all kinds of other stuff with their devices. 4,500 nits of brightness. They give you all the RAM, all the features, everything else in underneath the sun. Some of them give you power bricks in a box, right? Some of them give you headphone jacks. They give you IR blasters, 66,000 milliamp batteries. They doing all of that. And we got Samsung that's way overpriced. Well, I ain't gonna say overpriced, but way pricey. And people ask him, what do you think Samsung ought to do? Well, Samsung need to go sit in the cubicle and go talk to ASUS. They need to go talk to Xiaomi. They need to go talk to Vivo. You know why? It's because they are the ones that's moving the needle. Samsung coming out with the same design, same this, same that, give you some AI features that's all going to get trickled down into the earlier series of devices. Samsung came out with Live Translate. Pretty nice if you're international, right? If you go catching an Uber and you are international and you don't know the language too well, it helps with that. It also, Samsung is giving you 7 years of updates. Cool with that. The hardware look the same. They give you a flat display. Okay. And you get 12 gigs of RAM, your 5,000 milliamp battery. You're getting Samsung chipset in there. I ain't gonna say chipset, but you're getting the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Samsung, right? You're getting that. And they talked about some Google collaboration with some software between them and Google. Okay. And they talked about cameras, right? Cameras, they showed some footage of a person at a concert, and they zoomed all the way in, and they got good footage. They had Mr. Beast, right? Mr. Beast came on board, and he went up 100 feet in the air, and he was able to zoom in, and everything looked good. Okay. That's about it, pretty much. I mean, here's the thing that galls me about Samsung, right? Samsung does have some powerful features on their devices. They don't talk about it. And in my live stream, I went into a rant talking about Samsung DeX. Samsung DeX has been a proven tool that's been powerful for a very long time. If year after year after year, Samsung don't talk about it. Why? Why Samsung don't talk about it? I don't know. It's weird, but they don't talk about it. And for year after year, we as Samsung fans, right? We look for those type of updates. Because think about it. You have one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal and you never talk about that. Think about this for college students, business professionals, people that edit videos and edit photos and stuff like that. You could do connect wirelessly to monitors. You could connect your mouse and keyboards. If you're a college student and got the Galaxy device in your pocket, you go out and you spend maybe about $100 on a monitor and get a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, and you have a workstation. For the device in your pocket and maybe about $100 monitor, you have a complete workstation, and they don't talk about it. For business professionals, right? If you are in a hotel and you want to wirelessly connect to the monitor in the hotel room, if you I got a flip keyboard that I always keep with me, right? A flip keyboard that you could get work done on a bigger canvas, wired or wireless, and they don't talk about it. Even with the S Pen software has been the same for years. They don't talk about it. And I don't understand. It's confusing me. For years and years and years, Samsung got a lot of powerful tools in their arsenal. They don't talk about it. And a lot of people say, well, why should they talk about it? It's already there because they need updating. They need to talk about things that people need to know that's different from other companies, right? Yes, we have Ready For. Yes, they have other companies that got desktop mode. Yes, they got other companies that have pen that you could buy separately, right? And it's weird that Samsung does have some advantages because DeX has been seasoned, primed, right? That works very well, and they don't talk about it. They don't talk about it. But yet they spend 30 minutes talking about live translation. They spent 30 minutes talking about, a camera system that if you got the S23 or the S22, okay, you're okay with that. How many times have you put out your S23 or your S22 and went 100 times zoom? Maybe once every 6 months, maybe once a month, maybe every now and then, but it's no primary feature there. So, I understand you want to cater to a lot of different avenues, but man, you have some powerful software. You have some powerful stuff that you have in your arsenal that need updating and need spoken about that you don't talk about. Why? This is the thing that frustrates me about Samsung, right? And I know a lot of people that, frustrated about it too. Now, the trade-ins again, here we go. Trade-ins is terrible again this year, right? And what did we say last year? When the trade-in deals was bad with the S22 going into the S23, what did we say? Wait a couple of weeks. And surely behold, a couple of weeks later, Samsung came back and gave you $900 and $1,000 for those same items that they was only going to give you $600 and $700 for. All you had to do was wait. But you get people that's so hyped that want to spend their money now, they want to do these pre-orders now, they want to get the devices now, they want to trade in their devices and lose a shit ton of money now to trade in to get the fresh coat of paint, new device. And then 2 weeks later, you got the smart people say, you know what, I'm gonna get $1,000 because Samsung was only give you $750. Now they gonna give you enhanced credits and they give you $900 to $1,000 for that same item. All you had to do is wait about 3 weeks. Why? Wait 3 weeks. Wait a month. They gonna always do it year after year. They did that with the S22, by the way. S22 Ultra was like $700 trade in last year. And a lot of people complained about it, but they still gave up their beloved device to get the S23. They lost a crap ton of money for it, right? People gave up their Z Fold 4s for $700 to get the S23s, right? They give up high price devices for low end trade-ins to get the latest and greatest. And about 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, Samsung came back and said, we gonna give you $1,000 for it now. So you went from 7 to 1,000 in a matter of weeks. And we were saying in all our live streams, we was begging people, hold off, get the better deals. Hold off, get the better deals. And listen, a lot of people listen. A lot of people applaud us for keeping it real, talking about the realness, letting people know that don't buy now, wait. Understand the hype beasts out there. You're going to have a lot of YouTube channels out there going to tell you that your S23 Ultra is old, that you got to upgrade. Everything that you got in your pocket is old. You got to give it up. We talk about rocket devices till the wheels fall off. We talk about how you can save money. We talk about the best times to trade in and to get the better offers. We try to give you guys the best information, period, about trade-ins and about the best time to buy devices. We try our best to give you the information, and we try to calm people down to not to be so excited to lose money on trade-ins, just to hold off. I always say, what's wrong with your device? Nothing. Why you won't give it up? Because I want the latest and greatest. Okay. What about the latest and greatest that entice you? The camera. Okay. Are you going to use 100 times zoom? Yeah, maybe every now and then. What's wrong with the 100 times zoom that you got on your current device? It's good, but I seen the keynote address and it was better. Okay, I always say this. You could take a professional photographer and give them a budget device, and take an amateur photographer and give them a high-end device, and that professional photographer go get a better shot. I say this all the time. So I always talk about that, Samsung. Listen, man, we want Samsung to do better, but we have to call them out for the flaws. We want Samsung to be better. They charge you a premium for their devices. So guess what? We don't hold no punches for it, right? They ain't selling their phones for $499, right? They're not selling their phones for $599. They're selling their phones for $1,300, $1,500 plus after tax for Z Folds and all that. You almost talking about almost $2,000, right? And a lot of people say, if you don't like it, don't buy it. That ain't the answer to the question is, okay, if you don't like it, don't buy it. The answer to the question is hold their feet to the fire and call them out for the flaws. And we do that with every company, whether or not it's going to be Apple or Samsung. Apple and Samsung supposed to be the forefront of the innovation, supposed to be innovation. But how could they be the forefront of innovations when you got Xiaomi, Vivo, and all these other companies? Even OnePlus is pushing the needle way further at cheaper prices. Think about this. Pushing the needle way further at cheaper prices. And I say that to say this, and the reason why I say pushing, they put one-in sensors on their device for years. Samsung don't want to come close to that. Why? Right? And stuff like that. And I understand, everything is all AI-based, computational photography and all that stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we want Samsung to do better. We want them to be better. In order for them to do better, be better, we got to call them out for what it is. I'm only one person. I know we get on streams, we talk about this, and I know it's us against the world when it comes down to trying to educate people on a lot of things. Listen, the hype beast is out. Videos is out. Everybody says the best thing since sliced bread. So that you go get that all week, all month, all year. You go hear it. But for us, what we try to do is keep it real. Listen, I got 230 phones. So I think I got a vast number of years of experience to talk about this. 230 phones I got, right? 200 plus phones I have right now. So I think I'm a little more experience on when we call companies out. I can't, if I had one phone, I don't think I'm able to call out a phone company for a flaw. But we got 200 plus of the mothers. Yeah, I think I got a little more experience to call companies out for their BS. And that's why I do it. And I want, listen, my YouTube channel, my channels, my podcast, my Uncut series is about the people. I'm about the people. I'm about saving people money. I'm here for the people. A lot of people ain't out for the people. I'm here for the people. And so for me being out for the people, I'm going to be an advocate for the people. I'm going to be an advocate to save you money. I'm going to be an advocate to make sure you get the best deals possible. I'm going to be an advocate for the people because I'm for the people. That's it. Next thing Samsung talked about was, the support. And obviously, they had to do it because Google did it, right? The 7 years. They didn't it didn't talk too much about this the titanium frame and all. They ain't talk about all that too much. A few minutes on that, but that's about it. But I want Samsung to, move the needle. And a lot of people ask me the question, when should you upgrade? Because a lot of us are asking me in the live stream, should you give up your beloved S23 Ultra? No, ain't no way I would give up my S23 because you got to remember, those features will be trickled down to the S23 S22, and possible the S21. I would say if you got a Note 9, Note 8, I would say it's time to upgrade. Get it. Samsung can give you about $400 for the trade-ins. That's probably a pretty decent trade-in. $400 for a Note 8. You rocked it till the wheels fall off. I would take the $400 for the Note 8. I love my Note 9. I got multiple Note 9s, but the fair market value for a Note 9 is about $200. So if Samsung will give you $400 for it, that's a come up. That you're not hustling backwards. So I would take the $400 for the Note 9, the $400 for the S10, the $400 for the Note 8. Note 20, it's very difficult for a Note 20, right? To me, I would say if you got a Note 20, rock it. I would rock my Note 20 until 2025 and see what that device, see what the S25 gonna be. I would rock my Note 20 one more year if I was you. But I understand a lot of people, well, it's been 4 years. Is it time? I would say if you could swing it for one more year, then swing it for one more year. If not, then you good. S21, nah, I wouldn't do it. S22, I wouldn't do it. S23, nah, definitely not the S23, baby. I wouldn't do it for the S23. But stay tuned for continuous coverage of Samsung devices, and I'm gonna get my hands on it. I'm gonna review it. Y'all guys know I'm gonna keep it real no matter what. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. It is what it is. I have a bunch of Samsung devices. I buy Samsung devices every year. I protest last year on Samsung devices. Yes, I got the S23 Ultra. I did not get the Z Flip or the Z Fold. I just felt that Samsung just wasn't pushing the needle for me to drop $2,000 on the Z Fold, right? So I protest on the Z Fold. My Z Fold 4 is working like a champ. No problem with the Z Fold 4. So you know what? I made the best decision to save $2,000 to rock my Z Fold, right, until the wheels fall off. I didn't review the device. A lot of people, you got to review it. Listen, man, paying $2,000, I can tell you right now that I wasn't impressed after looking at it, after seeing it, after watching plenty of videos on it, after watching my good buddies' videos on that stuff. I came to the conclusion that I didn't want to review it. It was a protest. That's all for me. But yes, I'm going to review the S24 Ultra. I'm going to give you all the good, the bad, the ugly about it, baby. So stay tuned. All right, I'm going to get out of here, baby. Podcast, listen, short podcast today, right? I've been working my tail off, live streaming, podcast, everything all into one, trying to do it all, baby. This is like the Tech Preacher, baby. Ooh, Lord. Yes, another episode of the Tech Preacher podcast, baby. Thank y'all guys very much. Listen, if you want to see full coverage of all these devices, baby, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you come check me out on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, baby, easy all over the place. We're going to see you next week, baby. Same bat place, same bat time, baby. We're going to get out of here. Later.